We got a super chat here from Uncle Jam's Army. Why is the team going to a White House that tried to erase Jackie Robinson? Guys, I appreciate you bringing this up because this was the next topic that we were going to touch on. The Dodgers have accepted an invite to the White House. There was some debate over the last few days about whether or not they were going to accept or reject. For those unfamiliar, it is tradition across most major sports that when a team wins a championship, they are invited to the White House. Not everybody necessarily has to go just because you're a Dodger or you won the World Series. Doesn't mean you have to go, but you're at least invited. The Dodgers won in 2020. The next season when they were in Washington, D.C., Joe Biden was the president, and the Dodgers went. Almost every single player that was on the World Series team and still active on the Dodgers that next year attended the White House. Now, with Donald Trump in office, there have been questions about how this would go. As has been mentioned, there was the Jackie Robinson fiasco that Jeff Passan became passionate about on social media, rightfully so, which has been rectified, I guess, in the end. Of course, how they got to it being rectified was kind of a disaster. But the question here is the Dodgers and how they handled, should handle, will handle this whole White House thing. The Dodgers will be visiting Washington, D.C. on April 7th. That's when they have accepted an invitation. The Dodgers said, quote, in keeping with longstanding baseball tradition, they would be accepting this invite. We know of two people who have already addressed on the Dodgers side whether or not they will be attending this. The first is Dave Roberts. In 2019, he suggested that he would not be attending the White House so long as Donald Trump was in office. This time around, Anthony, he has announced that he will be attending. Quote, I respect the position. It's the highest office in our country, certainly the world, so I'm looking forward to it. Mookie Betts is the second person who it's come up with. He skipped the White House visit after winning the World Series with the Red Sox in 2018. While Donald Trump was president, he said he needs to discuss this with his family in order to make a decision. And again, for context, as I mentioned, in 2020, the Dodgers were invited by Joe Biden, and every single player except for one, I'm not going to out that person here. You can go and Google it. Every single person except for one chose to attend the invitation to the trip to the White House that time around. And so we're not trying to be political in saying that this is a thing that is happening. I know there are passionate feelings on both sides of this, Anthony, and there's some people that are going to suggest whether you attend or not attend is not a political statement, as Dave Roberts has suggested. Maybe you just respect the position of the president of the United States. Heck, maybe you just want to go to the White House. And yet others are going to make political decisions either to attend or not to attend. And so it's kind of a thorny situation the Dodgers are in, and it'll be interesting to see how the players, front office, etc., navigate this, in the couple of weeks before this happens real quick on April 7th.
Yeah. Didn't used to be a political thing. Obviously, for a lot of reasons that we don't need to get into, it's become that over the last 8-9 years or however long it's been. So I think the statement from the Dodgers has given them a little bit of cover, the in keeping with longstanding tradition. Yeah. That's sort of given them some blanket, some cover there to say like, look, we're going because we won the World Series. It's not anything. It's not much more than that.
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario, is that
right.
They just go, they take the picture, and they get out of there. But as these things go, sometimes stories will pop up that no one sees coming, that you didn't expect to be a story for whatever reason. And so you hope that it's an uneventful day for the people who do go. I think that the team is apt to just sort of follow in Dave's footsteps here for the people who do go. And if Mookie decides not to go, that's totally fine. I'm totally respect that. But for the people who do, I think, you know what, keep your head down. You follow your manager's lead because he's as professional and as classy as it gets. And so you just do what he does, and everyone should be fine.
Totally. Well, and I mean, even I remember in 2021, it was mentioned, hey, a lot of these guys, I think the stereotype, or maybe stereotype's the wrong word, the belief is that most Major League Baseball players probably lean more right than they do left. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But it's worth pointing out that, again, almost every single Dodger attended with a Democrat in the White House. And so I don't think that means that every single person that attended supported that particular president. Again, one person chose not to go, and knowing that person's politics, that was clearly a political decision that they were right to, they have the right to decide one way or another. But I'm with you. I hope this just happens. It's uneventful. It's something that, as you pointed out at the beginning, has happened for a long, long time. And it used to not be a statement on the person who's in power at the presidency. It used to be a celebration of the fact that they won the World Series. So that's kind of where I land the plane on this, is like, oh yeah, you know why we're talking about this, Anthony? Because the Dodgers won the World Series in 2024. Yeah. And that's really, really awesome. And so what turns out like it is of minimal importance to me. I'm going to make nothing of who goes or who doesn't go, because I didn't make a big deal about who went or who didn't win 4 years ago. And so the Dodgers won the World Series. If this is one more excuse to mention that, and for it to be in the headlines that the Dodgers are being celebrated as World Series champions, then we can just leave it at that. And so not everyone's going to be satisfied, but I think that's the right place, at least for now, to kind of land the plane on this particular conversation and the decision that the Dodgers have made. So again, the Dodgers have accepted an invitation to the White House. It'll happen on April 7th when they'll be playing in Washington, D.C., quote, in keeping with longstanding baseball tradition.